Let's begin. Rocks and minerals. Yes, Shlok, what is your presentation? You can brief it.
Yes, ma'am, I have understood, ma'am, that first of all, the definitions, the Earth's crust, it is composed of rocks, minerals, and soil. It is like composed of three main things, which is rocks, minerals, and soils. And first of all, the minerals, they are
Mm,
substances that like naturally occur at the Earth's crust,
mm,
and they are also like basic for our daily activities and the human needs.
okay.
And like for example, metals like iron, copper, and aluminum, they are used in manufacturing and also infrastructure. And coal,
Mm,
natural gas, and petroleum, they are like fossil fuels, and these all are used in our daily lives, and they are
yes.
basic for fulfilling our human needs.
Yes.
And
Yes. So
metal.
I'll just explain this, then you can continue further. So basically, rocks and minerals, the Earth's crust is composed of three components. Please underline this: rocks, minerals, and soil. And we depend upon these three things to fulfill our needs. Okay. Use the draw thing while you're using that. Okay. Next is minerals. Minerals are substances. So these are the three components, that is rocks, minerals, and soil. Now, minerals, we are going to study each of these, components in detail. Let's start with minerals first. So minerals are substances that naturally occur in the Earth's crust. Please underline that. And also underline rocks, minerals, and soil. Then underline the definition. Minerals are substances that naturally occur in the Earth's crust. So basically, minerals are naturally found in the Earth's crust, isn't it? And they have the property of a definite chemical composition and specific physical properties. Now, minerals are essential for all human needs. Do you all agree? For all our
Yes,
human
ma'am.
needs, we require minerals. Like, for example, we require metals like iron. Please underline the examples: metals like irons. Underline that also. We require minerals for all human needs. Okay. Then underline minerals are iron, copper, aluminium are used in manufacturing and infrastructure. Now, coal, natural gas, and petroleums are fossil fuels. These are
It
all
is for
minerals
transportation
which
mostly.
we use. Yes, we do use this. All these
For
minerals and all are
transportation and production.
yes, very good, Joshua. Yes. Minerals rarely occur in pure form. Okay, they are they are generally found in rocks in the form of ores. Please underline. Minerals are usually formed in the rocks in which form, children?
Ores.
Ores.
Form of ores, right? Minerals in the lithosphere may combine in different ways to form various types of rocks. They have to be extracted from the rocks using various processes. Yes, you for extracting different minerals from the earth's crust or from the rocks, you utilize different processes. So please underline this. To extract, they have to be extracted from the rocks using different processes. So minerals, for example, if I'm telling you, if I give you an example of petroleum, how do you extract petroleum? What, any guesses? What process do we use to extract? Where,
Mine.
where,
And
where do you find
splitting,
petroleum usually? Which countries? Any guesses, children?
ma'am, Abu Dhabi,
Middle Eastern
Arabia.
countries.
Yes,
Middle
UAE,
Eastern countries.
Eastern countries, Middle East countries. Very good. Okay, now once we've studied about minerals, now let's study about rocks. Okay, rocks form a major material of the Earth's crust. Please underline, rocks are the major materials of the Earth's crust. You know what are rocks? Big rocks, right? They are the mass of minerals, sometimes organic matter. Okay, rocks can be classified into the way they have been formed. Please, on the basis of their formation, rocks are classified. Please underline, rocks are classified on the basis of they have what they have been formed into, right? Their formation, on the basis of the formation, we classify the rocks. So number one is igneous rocks. We all know what are igneous rocks. You have studied in grade 6 as well, children.
Mm, yes, ma'am. These are rocks that have been cooled from lava or solidified
Yes,
by lava.
yes.
The
Very
Earth's
good, Joshua.
interior.
Very nice. Yes. So igneous rocks are formed by cooling and solidification of molten rock or lava from the Earth's interior. Underline this entire sentence is very important. This is the meaning of igneous rock. Okay. So how are igneous rocks formed? Who will tell me?
Ma'am,
They
in
are
the
formed by the
crucial solidification of
by the
molten
cooling
rocks
and
or
of the
lava from the
from
Earth's
the
interior.
molten rock of the Earth's
Yes.
interior.
Yes. Okay. Now, they are hard to compact. This lava emerges on the surface during the volcanic eruption and solidifies on contact with air, forming crystalline rocks called extrusive igneous rock. Please underline what are extrusive igneous rock. So, whenever there is a volcanic eruption, what happens is the lava which comes out, through the surface because of volcanic eruption, it comes in contact with the air, and it forms a crystalline rocks which is called as intrusive igneous rock. Please underline that. Extrusive igneous rock. Okay. You will get this for objective type questions, so do remember. Now, basalt in the Deccan Plateau is an example of this type of a rock. So underline basalt, please encircle basalt. So that is the example of which rock? Basalt is the example of which rock? Which type of a rock? Igneous rock. Very good. And where is basalt? Where do
In
you
the
find
Deccan
basalt?
Plateau.
Deccan Plateau.
In the Deccan Plateau. Very good. Okay, underline Deccan Plateau. Now, the cooling is rapid on the surface, and this causes the crystal size to remain small. Okay, so just because the cooling is very rapid, as soon as the volcanic eruption takes place, the cooling takes place, right? And the cooling is very rapid. That's the reason what happens is such types of rocks are very usually smaller in size. At times, lava may seep into cracks and crevices under the surface of the land and cool, slowly forming rocks with large crystals. These are called as intrusive or plutonic igneous rock. Please underline intrusive or plutonic igneous rock. Now, you need to understand what is the difference between intrusive and extrusive. Okay. Intrusive is what happens is whenever there is an eruption, what happens is some of the lava, it goes under the surface of the land. Okay. It seeps into the cracks, through the cracks, and it goes under the surface of the land, and over there it cools down. So that's the reason it is included under as intrusive. Okay. Or the other word for intrusive is plutonic igneous rock. Okay. What is extrusive? What is the difference? Extrusive?
When the lava emerges on the surface only during the volcanic
Surface
eruption.
of the earth. This is important. See, one is penetrating, it is creeps, one seeps into the cracks, that is intrusive, and the other emerges on the surface of the earth. That's the reason it is called as extrusive. This is the basic difference. Clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, can you tell me what is the difference between intrusive and extrusive? Let me see.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, the extrusive rocks, they are when the lava it emerges on the surface of the earth, and then and then when it solidifies, and then it like on contact with air, and then it forms crystalline rocks called extrusive igneous rocks. And the ma'am, intrusive rocks, they are when the lava like it seeps into the cracks and the crevices under the surface of the land, and it then cools slowly, forming rocks with large crystals, and then it is called as intrusive or plutonic igneous rocks.
Yes. Clear? Clear, everyone? The difference,
ma'am.
have you understood the difference? You might get a differentiation, okay, between intrusive and extrusive. Okay. Next is sedimentary rocks. So one was igneous rock, next is sedimentary rock. Okay. Sedimentary rocks are formed by accumulation and compaction of layers of small particles of rocks and organic material hardened over millions of years. This formation of sedimentary rocks is a slow process. Rocks on the surface of the earth are slowly broken down into particles by wind, water, glaciers, etc. That's the reason they are called as sediment. Okay. So sedimentary, please underline, they are the rocks which is formed by accumulation. Okay. Of what? Small particles of rocks and organic matter. Okay. And that small particles of rocks and organic matter, it gets hardened over millions of years. Please underline that. Small particles of rocks and organic matter hardened over millions of years. Okay, this is how the sedimentary rocks are formed. So definitely, if you can make out, this particular rock, it takes millions of years, for the formation. So the formation process of this particular rock is usually a slow process. And what happens is, whenever there is a wind, whenever waters come or glaciers come, they break that into small sediments. Okay, they break this rock into small sediments. Okay, rocks on the earth are slowly broken. Please underline this. Rocks on the earth are slowly broken down into particles. How they are broken down into particles, student? Because of the wind, because of the water, because of the glaciers. Okay, and that's the reason they are called that is called as the sediments. Clear till here, the sedimentary rock?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right, next, can you just scroll down? Winds, glaciers, and running water that cause this to happen also transport and deposit these sediments at the bottom of the rivers, lakes, seas, and oceans. Do you all agree? As the water flows, as the wind flows. So what they do, the running water, the winds, along with them, they take away the deposits. They transport the deposits of the sediments. Where do they do that? Where do they deposit? At the bottom of the rivers, lakes, seas,
and seas and oceans.
Oceans. Yes, very good, Joshua. Please underline that sentence. This is very important. How these they get collected. Okay. Underline winds, glaciers, running water, transport, and deposit are at the bottom of the rivers. Underline that, at the bottom of the rivers, lakes. Yes. As these sediments pile up over each other, the enormous pressure over the lower layers compresses and hardens to form layers of rock. Eventually, these rocks are exposed on the Earth's surface due to the movements of the Earth's crust or weathering. This is how sedimentary rocks are formed mechanically. So you will get a give reason. Okay? All right, or they might give you ask you in your exam to explain how sedimentary rocks are formed mechanically. Please underline this: sedimentary rocks formed mechanically. This is important. And what is the example of such sedimentary rock which is formed mechanically? It is the sandstone, encircled sandstone. So now we know that this entire paragraph is important, okay, for this particular question.
Yes.
If at all you get a question to explain how sedimentary rocks are mechanically formed, you are going to write this entire paragraph along with the example. Okay, children? So what happens is, when winds, glaciers, and running waters, when they, what they do, they cause the transport and deposit of all the sedimentary rocks at the bottom of the rivers. Now, what happens, one after the other, these rocks get piled up on each other. So the lowest layer which is there in that particular sea, river, or lake, it gets hardened, and eventually, whenever there is a weathering due to, or there is any movement in the Earth's crust, these rocks are exposed. Okay, this is how the sedimentary rocks are formed mechanically. Okay, and one such example of sedimentary rock is sandstone. Have you seen sandstone? Have you seen Bill?
Ma'am, your voice was breaking.
Yeah,
Not in
I
real
have
life.
turned off my video. Check now. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Better.
Okay. I was asking you all, have you all seen sandstone? Anyone?
Not in real life.
No, but you all have seen the picture of it, at least the images,
No,
how it looks like.
not
So
in
tomorrow I want you all to do the research work and see how sandstone looks like. So now you know how sandstone is formed mechanically, right?
Yes,
So now
ma'am.
you can imagine, okay, this is how this particular stone is formed. Clear? Next is, sometimes, am I audible to you all, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sometimes organic matter may get buried due to the weight and pressure of sediments harden into rock. Limestone is an example of organically formed sedimentary rocks. Please encircle limestone. And what is limestone? It is organically formed. Please encircle organically formed also. Encircle organically formed. So now we just saw how mechanically sedimentary rock is formed. Now we will see how organically it is formed. So what happens is organic matter, it usually gets buried. Okay, and due to the weight and the pressure, when it gets buried, what happens is that organic matter is converted into stones. Okay, the rocks, you can say. So that's how we get sedimentary rock in an organic form. And one such example of sedimentary rock which is formed organically is what? What is the example? Limestone. Very good, Asta. Very good. Okay. So this is another type. So these are different types of sedimentary rocks, huh, children? You might get a question, explain different types of sedimentary rocks. So please do not forget to give the examples also when you're explaining. One mechanically formed, second organically formed, and give the examples also. Now, such sedimentary rocks often contain fossils of once living creatures. So definitely organic matter which gets buried means what? Usually it will contain what? Fossils of living creatures, isn't it? Because they are the ones who are usually buried, isn't it? Now, they are also storehouses of fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Underline this. They are also the storehouses of fossil fuels. Okay.
Excuse
Coal,
me.
petroleum, and natural gas. Coal, underline coal, petroleum, and natural gas.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Siddhi. There is the picture. There is the picture given of sandstone. It's just that you need to turn pages and you need to see how sandstone looks like. Very good, Siddhi. Very nice. Keep it up. Keep it up. Okay, so next is sedimentary rocks are generally more brittle than other types of rocks and can easily be broken. So sedimentary rocks, this is the characteristics, features of sedimentary rocks, you can say. So these kinds of rocks, that is sedimentary rocks, are usually brittle. You can break these rocks easily. They are useful as building material because they are not very hard and are found in large sheets or layers. So whenever there is a construction going on, so there you will find most of the building material contains what? Sedimentary rocks. Why? Because these rocks can be broken easily and they are available usually in large sheets. Okay, large layers. That's the reason these particular rocks are used. Please underline this feature also. They are more brittle, generally more brittle, and can be used to can be broken easily.
And they were in the red and like gray color, no?
Yes. And where it is used in building material, it is used as building material. Okay. So let's revise sedimentary rock before we go on to the metamorphic rock. First of all, how is sedimentary rock formed?
By the accumulation and the compaction of layers of small particles of rocks and organic materials.
Okay. Explain how sedimentary rocks are formed mechanically.
Winds, glaciers, and running water. When the winds, glaciers, and the running water, they transport the sediments to the bottom of the rivers, lakes, seas, and oceans, and they, as these sediments they pile up over each other, there's an enormous pressure over the lower layers, and this compresses and hardens to form the layers of rocks, and then eventually these rocks are exposed to the surfaces due to the movement of the Earth's crust or weathering, and this is how sedimentary rocks are formed mechanically.
Very good, very good. And what is the example of mechanical sandstone? Okay. Okay. Now explain me how sedimentary rocks are organically formed.
Ma'am, when organic matter may get buried and due to the weight and pressure of sediments.
Don't read. Explain what you have understood. Explain whatever you have understood. Don't read. We have already done the reading and explanation.
And
whatever you have in your own words. Yes.
And when they get buried into the they get buried, and due to the weight and pressure of sediments, they get hardened into the rocks, and this is the process this is how organically they are formed, sediments.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Good. Good. All right. Next is, what is the example of organically formed rock?
Limestone.
Limestone. All right. Next is
Metamorphic rock.
No. Next question which I want to ask you is, what are the features of sedimentary rock? Who will tell me what is the feature? How?
Ma'am,
Yes, look.
yes, ma'am. They are like generally they are more of brittle than the other types, and they could be easily broken down.
Yes. And
So they are
therefore,
useful.
where they are usually used?
And therefore, they are
Used as a
useful as
building
building materials because
Yes. Very good,
they're not
Shlok.
very
Very
hard.
good. Very good. So clear with sedimentary rocks and igneous rock, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, next topic is metamorphic rock, and I think we are time. It's almost time up. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll stop here for today. We'll continue metamorphic rock in the next class.